Today on Nest News, we'll talk about what's new with the coronavirus and the death of an important whistleblower.
Also, we take a look at how the new vaping ban is affecting college students and how they get around the ban.
Stick around because Nest News starts right now. Hey, what's going on, Ospreys? I'm Shafalika Bhatnagar.
And I'm Kevin Loris, and today we have the latest on the coronavirus and how it's affecting people all across the country.
Today, Japan reported 41 new cases of the virus on a cruise ship that's been quarantined in Yokohama Harbor, while the death toll in mainland China rose to 636. One of the deaths in China was a doctor who got in trouble with authorities in the communist country for sounding an early warning about the disease threat. Following an online uproar over the government's treatment of Dr. Li Wenliang, the ruling Communist Party said it was sending an investigation team to fully investigate relevant issues raised by the public regarding the case. A widespread vaccination effort is not expected to be complete for another year.
As the U.S. government began enforcing a nationwide flavored electronic vaping ban yesterday, teenagers may be one step ahead of the U.S. government this time. Researchers warn that some young people have already moved on to a new kind of vape that isn't covered by the flavor ban. Disposable e-cigarettes are sold under brands like Puff Bar, Stig, and Fog in flavors such as pink lemonade, blueberry ice, and tropical mango. The Food and Drug Administration's crackdown narrowly targets rechargeable vaping devices that use pods or cartridges pre-filled with a nicotine solution. Self-contained disposable products are not covered under this ban and are beginning to leapfrog from their now banned competitors.
In the few days that have passed since the State of the Union and President Trump's acquittal in his impeachment trial, there has been much chatter around Washington. House Senator Nancy Pelosi remains steadfast in her response to President Donald Trump's speech and his subsequent behavior. After she famously tore up President Trump's speech at his State of the Union, Pelosi had some words to say about the act and about President Trump.
It's appalling, the things that he says, and then you say to me, tearing up his falsehoods, isn't that the wrong message? No, it isn't. It's just I have tried to be gracious with him. I'm always dignified. I thought that was a very dignified act compared to my exuberance, as I said. But we will not allow any president to use that Capitol, that chamber of the House of Representatives, of the People's House, as a backdrop for him. Then I start to think there has to be something.
The House Speaker shook her head at various points during Trump's remarks, but did not appear to interact with Trump personally. She was quoted saying, "He's shredding the Constitution in his conduct. I shredded his state of mind address."
I mean,
what do you think?
It's really interesting. I feel that I don't know what to say. It's a really interesting time. I'm speechless, really.
That's true.
So, yeah.
There were a lot of people who felt that Pelosi's act at the end of the speech was disrespectful, and there are a lot of people who are supporting the symbology of what she did.
Definitely.
I think that one of the most important things that as a country we should do is find a renewed sense of balance and camaraderie if we can, because this partisanship is exhausting for the public, in my opinion.
Definitely, I definitely feel like it's exhausting. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, look at these circles on these eyes. You know?
Me too. Well, after the break, we'll look into a new study on calories and what that could mean for all the calorie counters out there.
Also, the Oscars are this weekend, and could there be a big upset in the Best Picture category? We'll talk about this and more when we come back.
So stick around because you're watching Nest News on Spinnaker TV.
Lose my words, lose my thoughts, and lose
New studies are showing that calorie counts on certain products are actually a little lower than they are shown to be.
I mean, I'd expect the opposite, but what can you tell us about this new research?
Sure. Well, there's a fun fact for you. Almonds used to have about 170 calories per serving. A little while ago, researchers said that it was really more like 130. And recently, they said nuts may even have less. Shifting numbers for almonds shows how figures printed on nutritional labels may not be as precise as they seem. Government research studies are exposing the inexact method for determining calorie counts established more than a century ago. Companies are now determining how these new studies impact their products, and the Kind Bar company is even lowering their calorie counts, although they are not changing any ingredients or serving sizes.
Sam Mendes' World War I film, 1917, is gaining traction and popularity as it is currently the favorite to win the Oscar for Best Picture. As the top prize winner of the Producers Guild, the Directors Guild, and the BAFTAs, 1917 is sure not to back down. But the foreign film Parasite could somehow pull off an upset that would rank alongside the underdog win of Moonlight 3 years ago. As the Oscars will air late Sunday night, all cards are on the table, and you never know what's going to happen over there in the Dolby Theater in Hollywood.
Meek Mill and Justin Timberlake have joined musical forces. At midnight just a few hours ago, Meek released his new song, Believe, featuring Timberlake along with a new music video.
The song has an empowering message with lyrics like, "Put my face in the dead of the ground, still I raise up and take back the crown, and you can break my body, but you can't lock down the soul of a man."
In the music video, Meek Mill shares a symbolic message as he's seen holding onto a piece of jewelry which includes pendants for the late Nipsey Hussle. This collaboration between Meek Mill and Justin Timberlake is an interesting one as two different genres collide.
Well, moving on from one of my favorite rappers working with one of your favorite singers, I got some great news for you, and it involves UNF's favorite men's basketball team.
Must have been an interesting night over in New Jersey. So let's turn it over to Zach Yearwood for more on sports and what's happening this weekend.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Zach Yearwood, and this is your Spinnaker Sports Report. Last night, the UNF Ospreys got their revenge against NJIT in a game that came down to the wire. JT Escobar passed 1,000 career points when he hit a late dagger three to help secure the win. Speaking of the men's basketball team, I got a chance to sit down with head coach Matthew Driscoll and his wife Carrie to talk about the annual Coaches vs. Cancer fundraiser.
Every January, dozens of college basketball teams around the country participate in the Coaches vs. Cancer fundraiser to not only raise money for cancer research, but also to raise awareness for early screening. UNF head coach Matthew Driscoll and his wife Carrie get the team involved in the program yearly. They attribute their passion for the initiative to the people they've lost to cancer, including Coach Driscoll's brother.
It's always been something that Carrie's been really passionate about, and me and myself as well, because we both have lost people to cancer. My brother, specifically, the closest person. So it's definitely something that is in our heart, and Carrie really is the one that spearheaded it.
Coaches vs. Cancer has several ways for teams to get involved. One of them being Suits and Sneakers, where coaches will trade in their dress shoes for a game to wear sneakers on the sideline.
Once again, it's Coaches vs. Cancer, Suits and Sneakers Week across the country.
Teams also raise money through donor pledges, which increased with the number of three-pointers the team makes in a game. This year, the Ospreys made 10 threes against Liberty and raised $2,800. I'm Zach Yearwood, Spinnaker News.
For the full story and all your sports news, go to unfspinnaker.com. Let's take a look ahead at the weekend for the Ospreys, and my goodness, is it a busy one. The women's tennis and softball teams will hit the road to play in Alabama on Saturday. The tennis team takes on South Alabama, while the softball team has 2 games against Western Kentucky and the College of Charleston. The men's soccer team also has an exhibition game against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's been your sports update. Back to you guys.
All right, Ospreys, that's all we have for you today.
And for your weather outlook, enjoy a sunny afternoon. The highs will stay in the lower 60s, so make sure you have a jacket handy.
And before you leave, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube at Spinnaker TV and follow our social media at UNF Spinnaker.
I'm Shafalika Botnagar.
And I'm Kevin Lours.
Swoop, Ospreys, swoop.